learning with this video. If this content is helpful to you, please like, share, and subscribe so it reaches to more people like you and me who learn through YouTube. If you are already aware about Tableau and handy with the tool, you would know that butterfly chart is not a direct way you can create. But we'll see how to create a butterfly chart in Tableau with easy steps. So I'm using a DMart Superstore Dataset, which is a replica of sample Superstore available in public Tableau. If you do not have access, do let me know in comments. I will be there to guide you in for data source. For butterfly chart, it's basically a side-by-side bar chart. So which you should be well aware of your category you are going to use. It has to be have two dimensions, something like male and female, which are very distinct, but they are falling under the same header category as gender. That was one simple example, but you can play around as much as you want. We'll see subcategory and sales in the butterfly chart. So if you want to seamlessly show sales by subcategory, what you would do is subcategory and then sales, right? You have your tabular format here. If you keep entire view, you are saying it. If you make it a bar, it happens like this. But this is not what you are expecting. You don't want to see this subcategory like this. What you will do is subcategory is definitely needed, an entire view, but sales I am keeping with the particular header category, that is consumer segment. Okay, let me show you in one of the charts what are there in the segment. Okay, so you see there is consumer, corporate, and home office. Home offices are the suppliers used by startup. Basically, the customer is segmented into the one who buys for themselves, one who buys for the resale, and the other is for the startups, which will have the combination of both. So we don't want to use home office, just the consumer and the corporate. These are the very distinct categories which we can present in the butterfly chart. So for sales, I'm creating a calculated field. It will be, let's call it corporate sales. So if segment if segment is equal to corporate, then sales, else 0, and so this is the format of simple if else in the Tableau. We are creating if our segment is equal to the corporate, this is the text field, so that's why it's under the double quotes, and then the true part of it, and else the false part of it. You can have else if over here, and you will end it with the end word keyword. So just apply. I would make a copy of it. This formula. We got a corporate sales. Then we'll create a field for consumer sales. Here, only the condition changes to the consumer. If segment is equal to consumer, then sales else 0. Now, the quick part over here, when you are creating a butterfly chart, let me show you. We are taking the subcategory, and if you keep the sales, now both are in the positive. One you should have in the negative and the other one in the positive. So just so that when you are having the same reference lines, one comes in the left part of it and the other comes to the right part of it. So let's keep the corporate to the left. For that, simply edit the formula and make it negative, just adding the minus sign to it. So corporate, you see it's going in the negative, and then consumer sales, it's in the positive. You might think the butterfly chart is already created, but the small thing we are doing is you are using dual axis, and then we'll synchronize the axis. This is very important. Now you would again make it to the bar. See, if you wouldn't have synchronized, it wouldn't have shown you the exact distinct insight. We would want to keep only one header, so we are not keeping this header. Also hide row labels from here. So this is pretty much how to create a butterfly chart. What more you can do is to add labels. You can play with the reference lines over here. I'm keeping reference lines because I want to see how it is falling. Now here, what our insight could be that shares are having the highest sales, whereas the phones are also having the much higher sales. You can play with the colors more to bring the insights out of it. I have done exactly the same thing over here, but the color I'm using the sum of profit. So size remains the sales. Here it remains the sales, but the color are with the profit. So what we can see is, let's say, chairs or the phones, they both had the highest sales. They both are showing the highest sales. But when it comes to the profit, then it's not, it's showing loss in the corporate part. So that's the clear insight coming out of it. Even though the sales are high, we can see the sales are pretty much high, but still they are going into the losses. Whereas the corporate part is working fine with the profit, but not the consumer one. We are seeing high sales, but there are losses as well. You let me know in the comments which is the one you liked. Did you like this chart where you're able to bring insight from this? You name it as butterfly chart, or you were able to bring insight out of sales and sum of sales and profit both. One is in the bar, another one is in the color. Which one is more insightful according to you? Let me know in the comments. With this, I end here. Do let me know anything else if you need help out with. We'll be happy to guide you. Till then, keep learning, keep sharing, keep growing together. Thank you.